Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about the various reasons of failure of merger and acquisition. And as you know that there are lots of problem in a business when there are two different persons joined together to work for a new entity. Suppose earlier we are running a business of sole proprietorship and now we are going to convert it into a partnership. Then also same problem arises. But here you are discussing about various companies who formed a new venture by mergers or acquisition, and many a times their business fails. So here I am discussing only 6 points about this topic, and in the textbook it has given there are more points. So let's discuss them. First of all, high price paid. In the merger and acquisition, one company acquires, suppose a company A acquires company B for rupees say 150 crores, and after some time after the acquisition they came to know that the price which they had paid for the acquisition of company B is too high. So it will affect a bad impact on the company, and they will be short of cash also, and their plans which they had made earlier are now I think not actualizes. That's why it is a point in the reasons of failure. Next point is difficulties in cultural integration. In merger and acquisition, two separate companies are joining together, and it is very common that the culture of a particular company always different from the others. Suppose in company A there is a culture of more formal or structured way of doing things, but in company B the method of working is very lenient and comfortable as per the requirement of the worker. Or we can say you have seen that in many companies or many organizations there are very strict rules for everything, and recently we have seen that the Google and Microsoft are liberalizing themselves by allowing more freedom to the employees to work from home or to work from anywhere. The place will be chosen by the employee. So I am just telling about the culture of organization, their systems, their methods, their way of doing a particular task, and all these things is generally different from others. So if they did not integrate properly, it will be a demerit. But if they integrate positively, then it is not a reason of failure, it may be a reason of success. So it depends upon ourselves how we justify our point. If they integrate properly, it will be a merit, and if they fails to integrate properly, it will be reason of failure. Next point is overstated synergy. And you know that synergy here means the energy which is derived from by joining two or more than two entities. So the synergy which here we have stated may be more than that which we are actually receiving now. Suppose we have set a target that after the merger we will get a profit of rupees 100, but actually we are getting it at rupees 60. Means we had made a plan but it is not actualizing. So it may be a reason that we have overstated our synergies. Next point is poor business fit. Poor business fit here means that we have purchased a company or acquired a company, or we have a merger with a company which is not suitable for us, but we came to know about it at the later stage after acquiring it or after merging with it. Because when a company fails or when a merger or acquisition fails, then we start analyzing why our company is failing or why we are not getting the success, what are the main reasons behind it. Then we came to know that the merger which was made earlier or the acquisition which is made earlier was totally based on assumption, it is not on the factual base, and the business or the two entities are totally different in their operations or in their product or in their ideologies. There may be any type of misfit. Like in case of a conglomerate business, they are totally different businesses. Suppose one company is producing tires for vehicles and another company is producing furniture. So there is no correlation between these two products. So it is a poor business fit. But sometimes people manage their business to extend their area of operation, to increase their range of products, like for diversifying. So not always it is a demerit, it may be a merit, but here we are only discussing its negative point. Then next point is high leverage. When we purchase a company, we are paying high prices against it, and the price may be paid by various ways. Suppose we pay the purchase price to another company in cash. Generally, cash payment is not allowed. Suppose we had paid through a bank. Then also, our total cash flow statement will decline because we have lot of outflow of cash, and it is not good for a company because we have to maintain a reasonable amount of cash in our organization. If we fails to meet it, we may have several time cash crunch problems. So to avoid this, we need not to pay the purchase price entirely through cash. Then what is another option? The another option is we can take a bank loan, because whatever decision we will take, it will directly affect our capital structure. So we have to make a balanced decision. If the decision is not a balanced one, suppose we had paid entirely in cash, then we'll have a problem of cash crunch. If we paid entirely from taking a bank loan, then we will have a burden of interest. We have to continuously pay the interest in case of losses also. So we have to make a midway or middle path through which we can balance, or first of all we have to analyze what is our present balance sheet situation, and after analyzing it in detail, then we can take this decision that how we will have to pay the acquired company. So it totally depends on the capital structure of a company. If we pay through cash or loan, it is our decision, but it will impact the capital structure. So keeping in mind that what will be the impact of choosing any particular one or a combination of both, we will have to see it in a reasonable manner. Then at last point, we'll have human resource issue. A company when merged with another one, there is a greater problem of human resource, because the employee of, suppose this, there is a company A and company B, the employee of company A and company B have a greater problem, because the new entity have different system. It may be possible that some of the employee have to lose their jobs, or there is a change in their job, or their schedule is changed. There is a new culture of working, new method, new products. Anything could be happen, because earlier they were settled in a particular type of company, but now the company is purchased by someone else. So there is a instability in the mind of employees, that what will happen, because they are adjusted with their system, their senior supervisor, their total environment of business is familiar to them, and now they have to adjust according to the buyer's point of view, those who have purchased their company. So there is a feeling of depression among the employees. They may leave the job also if they have opportunities or better opportunities. So it is also known as a reason behind the failure of a merger or acquisition. So student, I hope you have understood a little bit. If you have any problem, you can ask me. Thank you, students.